Computer Graphics and User Interface. Computer Graphic User Interface. GUI. ALPHA. BIOS Trolley. Good.
Computer graphics and user
Interface.
output menu. It has been selected and it is now time to narrow the engine. This has been completed by Smitty by means of searching far and wide through the UAPB library. An annotated bibliography was produced documenting the search.
Smitty discovered 10 additional sources related to the research question. A literary review was constructed from the 20 articles gathered. Introduction. The Honorable and Most Gracious Dr. Carl Walker laid down the requirements, which includes the utilization of IE citation when necessary. Once the requirements were clarified, the topic was selected, narrowed down, and now it is time to start producing the literary review on the pieces of literature gathered regarding the topic computer graphics, user interface. Once all literature was collected, it was reviewed in order to reveal the topic of focus. The independent individual sources are now grouped together based upon common themes as well as referenced at time. While viewing these sources, Smitty considered such things, such as if any angles of study was missing, what trends and themes are reoccurring and universal, and are all sources suggesting the same solutions, deductions, and conclusions. The focus has been revealed. The thesis has been established according to the progression in the evolution in computing of all attributes involved, withstanding the test of time. User-friendliness and technological adaptability are the keys to succeeding, to keeping the people happy in the realm involving computers. Their graphics, and how users interact with the interface. By properly utilizing these keys, one will be able to compete with the times regardless of industry, as the computer has invaded them all, by producing products and web pages that are pliable and consumer responsive. You are sure to blow your competition out of the water and succeed in whatever it is that your little heart desires. This is not new information, nor is it analyzing the material and coming up with your own fresh perspective on it. This is simply acting like a computer noting patterns. The sources were organized based upon topic. From there, further analysis took place regarding such issues such as author street cred, and if they utilized bias propaganda. Paper construction began with a solid introduction warning the readers to brace themselves for a bumpy ride. By viewing this brief introduction, the audience is then able to determine if the remainder of the paper has relevant information to be viewed for further discovery. The audience is correct and engaged. The sources and materials for the paper have been gathered and organized, and a clear conclusion has been formed, bringing your entire theme together full circle. It is now time to consider evidence to establish a firm stance in the topic and start to write a literary review on computer graphics and user interface. Pastime. Passing time. A computer is one that counts, first defined in 1613, to describe a person that performs calculations and computation. Although there is no concrete answer as to the date of the creation of the first computers which were used in ancient Kush, or Ethiopia, during antiquity, credit is given to Charles Babbage and the Lady Ada Lovelace for creating the first mechanical computer in 1822. Lovelady is considered to be the first computer programmer according to this recorded history. This difference engine would compute several sets of numbers and print the results. Babbage did not complete his machine due to funding. However, the project was revised and the printing mechanism was completed back in the year 2000. Just as more technology tends to increasingly accelerate in progression and innovation exponentially as we continue moving forward in time, Babbage also proposed the first analytical machine in 1837, which he also did not see completed due to funding. His youngest son Henry Babbage was able to get the machine to at least perform a basic calculation, the addition of the first programmable computer between 1936 and 1938. Alan Turing gave us the Turing machine in 1936, which laid the groundwork for the modern computer, by including the first digital computer developed during the years of 1937 and 1942, and the first commercialization of the computer in 1950, which led to the IBM on April 7, 1953. None of these primitive models allowed the user to interact by means commonly used today. None of these machines had beautiful graphical screens. Instead, users interacted with the machines via buttons and punch cards. All other communication with the machine was for maintenance on its massive parts, not the ideal computer graphics and user interface compared to today's standards. However, to have one of those colossal machines back in those days, you were considered to be
bad and bullshit bad.
present time is to be, as in now. In March of 1955, at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, commonly referred to as MIT, introduced the Whirlwind machine, which was featured as the first digital computer with magnetic or random access memory, with real-time graphics. The transistor was also first demonstrated at MIT, which ushered in the era of the mini-computer, which acted as a catalyst for the mass-marketed desktop computer. The program 101 unveiled to the public at the 1964 New York World's Fair. Roughly 44,000 were sold at a whopping $3,200. Can I get a bad and bourgeois? Bougie. Could someone give me a bad and bougie? Bad and bougie. The world of computational sciences took a major leap in 1974 with the completion of the first fully functional workstation computer, the Xerox Alto. The mother of all demos unveiled this machine's curve into the current standard, utilizing windows, menus, a computer, a display, icons, and of course, the mouse. The first microprocessor was born under the sun of Scorpio on November 15, 1971. This started the trend that has led to the progression of microcomputing, adding a surge boost to the exponential acceleration of computational devices becoming friendlier, easier to use, faster, and smaller. Future time. Computing is now personal, and at the rate things are going, it will continue to remain that way. Everyone from unborn babies to the deceased utilize the computer. Microcomputing is now nanocomputing. Everything is getting smaller and faster, just like our good friend Speedy Gonzales. The first microcomputer progressed into the first personal computer. Today in 2017, the majority of individuals not only own several personal computers, but also multitask by functioning several of them unanimously. The personal computer, of course, evolved into the first portable laptop computer, the IBM 5100, and the Osborne 1, released April 1981, which ran $1,795 US. This started the developmental boom and rivalry between IBM, Apple, and PC clones. 1992 gave birth to consumers, allowing them to interact with their computational devices via multimedia. One of the most familiar ways users interact with computers are via input-output devices for communication, and graphical interfaces working with the computer network's application layer. The Internet and use of the World Wide Web has played its part in the technological explosion. We have transcended from a time of pure counting with no digital imaging to current-day graphical interfaces that allow users to create and intermingle with an augmented reality. From mere observation, this travel through time has revealed initially computers were solely used by computators counting computations. Only a select few were allowed access to such devices. As we progress through time, we find the counting machines becoming smaller, faster, and more portable. This creates more of a desire to be used by the general public, and not just the Illuminati. With the computer becoming a grossing market and more widely used, companies within the industry understand that in order to make more bucks, product must reach more people. And in order to reach more people, people have got to want it. And in order for people to want it, people will need to know how to use it. Well, kinda. As you may have experienced in your lifetime, more and more people are obtaining devices with no clue as to how to use them. No need to fear, for the industry has capitalized on this market as well. We have gone from the app you get sliding beats, to pushing buttons, and reading printed cards, to having digital screens to view display, to now we are able to project four-dimensional images into empty space, and have a comfortable, friendly interaction with our computational devices thanks to the fine history and technological innovation of computer graphics. And user interface.
We'll continue on the path of personalization, customization, and unique user experiences, making the online world ever more intuitive and human-like. Feel free to further discover business learning into these topics and more as they relate to computer graphics and user interface. Hashtag Startup Life. Business learning. Sit Smitty and Heather out. Smitty had to fire Reiner. Then I came in.
Rainer und Ruiz.